Hello, my name is Kenny and I'm the author of the LAMBS Danger FSM, and in this video I'll be showcasing some of the new waypoints featured in the latest update. It has always annoyed me that there are powerful scripts in Arma that are sometimes hidden a bit from easy view, and I've taken steps to rectify that. One of the common requests for the Danger FSM was a more active AI, but that's in a sense outside of the scope of the Danger FSM, because the Danger FSM is always purely reactive. It's all about reactive. That said, I've introduced some waypoints here that will add some more activity here. And I'll demonstrate this with a small scenario that I've set up. Essentially, some hostages have been taken by a local gang of criminals, and Blue Force will move in. I'll call these guys looters, just to make them easier to find in the spectator cam. And it works quite simply. I just place down a waypoint, and I find the correct one in the list. And you can see there's some new advanced AI waypoints added. Today I'll be showing off the task Garrison and the task CQB. So it works quite simply. I just select Garrison, and there's a tool tip, as you can say. The default range of this is 50 meters, which is easily within here, so that'll be fine. Next I'll move over to the Special Forces team, and I'll create a waypoint for them as well. Now there's an interesting limitation with these scripted waypoints, and that is that the moment the unit sort of activates or reaches that waypoint, that waypoint will trigger. So if I didn't do a move waypoint first, they'd start sort of in the CQB mode all the way over here, and that would create a large distance. It's just a limitation of scripted waypoints. Might look into that in the future. For now, this system is simple and easy enough to use. So I take this waypoint, I select the task CQB, that creates the center where the CQB will happen, and if we read up on it, it says the default is 50 meters. I can alter that by altering the completion radius. If I write 50 meters though, go into the map mode, you can see I get this nice circle, which gives me a good indication of where they will start clearing. And the task CQB is a house clearing, house by house, every spot type cleared. So with that said, we are actually ready to roll. Now I'll be showing this in sort of 2 cycles, just to show you how the sort of random patterns will take control from time to time. And that's it. Here we go. So we find ourselves with our buddy captured here, and Mr. Blondie has a shotgun trained on us. He's now being reinforced by actually 3 other guys. We're also holding out here in the house with them. Let's enter the spectator camp and have a look. You can see that the AI has positioned themselves in these 3 buildings. Again, it's randomized. It's going to be different from time to time. This is how it's been developed this time around. There's some interesting features to the Garrison script. If it's a group larger than a fire team, and if there are static weapons nearby, they will man them. Additionally, every unit has a sort of trigger that will re-enable his movement. Now that trigger can be the unit being hit, the unit firing his own weapon, or simply an enemy firing a weapon nearby. This triggers the movement, and they will seek out that and generate some trouble. It also makes the Garrison script a bit more dynamic. Now, on the other hand, we have the Special Forces team. They're now moving in. They're just set to a column, limited movement formation for now. They're going to move up just past this white building, and at that time, the CQB thing will trigger. I am again running a debug mode, so some of the functionality will be sort of seen. There's nothing special about these guys, suppressed rifles and body armor, really. And here they come. Let's see what they do. Now it's been triggered. We can see the blue arrow. This indicates where they are moving. They actually checked the window here first. Cleared off that guy. moving into the building. Even though they took contact, they're actually focusing on the building itself because that's the task they have. There's some, you can sort of read what they're doing based on their behavior, but we'll have a closer look on them afterwards. They're kind of piling up like this because the initial entry point, I put all of them on the same spot. This is really just to create a sort of weight of manpower when they move into buildings. When it's a garage like this with only 3 logical locations, it gets a bit weird, but it does make sense in other situations. This guy has not been seen. And as you can see, now that they're inside the building, they'll actually clear each location before readying up and moving out again.
Soldier, I've got him. Soldier, 75.
Managed to snapshot this guy, and now they're moving into this building. The green, or sorry, blue arrows, they indicate what's happening here. They're moving through the building like that. So they've cleared 3 buildings, 0 casualties so far. They still got 2 buildings to go. The hostage building itself and the building by the bridge, I believe, is also within the 50 meters range. They work on a sort of cycle, so sometimes you'll see them wait a bit like this. This is really just to let them clear the building, let every unit reach their waypoints and get ready for it. Let's see what's happening. Oh, we can see they got a rush enemy. Sometimes if they find an enemy threat, this guy has a red arrow on him right now, he was found as a threat, they will actually prioritize that in front before moving in through buildings. And this time that actually sort of paid off. Wow. And there we have it. The hostages are actually secured.
Standing by.
Quite close combat here. That's around, what was it, 8 or 9 enemies, 0 casualties on Blue Force. Now they've cleared this building. They should be moving to the final building right next to that burning wreck over there. Let's just verify that happens, and then we'll recycle the mission just to see it in a different sort of perspective. Actually, they actually, because they were close to this building, they took and cleared this building first, and now they will be moving over to the other building. And here we go. Now they're moving. So in this mode, they will actually clear each building within their the set range, just from top to bottom, just every room, every angled clear like that. Now there's some sort of vagaries of Arma. You can see Mr. Harrison Murphy here is looks kind of stuck. There are settings in the script to get them moving again like this. It's not always perfect, but it does the best we can do with the limitations we have here. Again, a single breach point. Everyone just stacks in there. With smaller buildings like this, it can't get, I guess, a bit weird like this. But had they been under fire, you know, other things would have happened as well. So why is Harrison Murphy shooting into the building? It's because he's quite far away and the entire building is not secured, so he's actually just providing suppressive fire on the building. You know, it's a sensible thing when there are potentially enemies inside. They are in a hostile or combative mode right now. Perhaps not as sensible when friendlies are clearing their room, but I mean, we see that even in player play. Alright, first cycle complete. Let's go head back out into the editor. And this time around we'll follow the spec ups a bit closer, but we'll also tweak the weather conditions a bit, I guess also in Blue 4's favor. And here we go. Again, we find ourselves captured. You can hear the enemies moving in around us. Mr. Shotgun is being reinforced by another guy with a shotgun. And let's have a quick look at the disposition of forces here. Yeah, this time they're more spread out evenly for each building, but the blue strike force is sort of moving in safe and slowly. You'll see them alternate their stance from time to time. Generally, when they're in attack mode, they'll be standing up, but if they haven't reached their destination, or the destination is very far away, they might go into a crouched stance. This is gives you, the viewer, a sort of visual indicator that they're still moving, and sometimes it also will make a lot of tactical sense, really. Moving closely through here. Again, there's no special script here. This is just them being set to column formation and having a sort of a limited movement speed. Yeah, I agree. Now, there's one change here when there's nighttime and a bit of fog like this. I'll go to night vision mode and let's see if they can clear the site again. As we recall, there's enemies in every building now. Taking the back door.
Contact! Contact, man!
Hello. Clearing the garage, again piling up on one location. Then I will spread out to the other two locations which are present. There's only 2 guys to spread out to those, so only 2 persons will be moving on this time around. Now we can sort of see the cycle in action. You see some of them gone crouched. This is because they weren't given a movement order, or were just holding, securing really. The entire building is now secure. They'll pick a new one and start moving. Generally, it's the closest building they will move to, so it would be fully dynamic. It just happens to be that the hostage building is the furthest one away. Oh, this guy went a bit alone. Happens. There's the guy, Mr. Pistol. They're still clearing the that little open shack. Actually, since still somebody in the garage, probably the other building wasn't really enough stuff going on. And I've actually spotted activity in the hostage building here. This guy is well, one guy's dead. This guy is suppressed. That's why he's crouching over like that. Let's see if he reacts. No, he still remains covering the hostages. In the meantime, these guys have secured this building with a stash, and they're probably readying up to give Mr. Blondie the good news. He's all by himself, I believe. No, actually, the bridge building as well. That's fine. It says rush enemy. They know about him, so every asset, everyone is just moving in on this building. Let's get control of this building with the immediate threat nearby. One of these guys moved out. Probably triggered off something like that. Again, this building being cleared. A lot of manpower in here. Blue Force still hasn't sustained any casualties, which is good. And here we go. We again see then the debug rush enemy. They know about Mr. Jaroslav over here, and he's about to get the bad news. And in fact, he was dealt with before they got there, but they still need to move into the building to fully clear it. We can see the red arrow
Standing by.
marking where he was. Again, the arrows are just debug information. They won't be visible. They won't even be created in a regular mission scenario.
Clear.
And yeah, that's about it. There's of course some other waypoints as well. You can experiment with them. I will also be making some videos describing them quite soon. So that's it for me. Thank you very much.